Hello, friends, and welcome back to the Brockopp side. Today we got ourselves a movie review of Peter Rabbit, directed by Gluck. So, this movie stars James Corden as Peter Rabbit, who has to deal with Domhall Gleason moving into the house whose garden Peter and his animal friends get their food from, and is also taking away the attention of their human friend Bee, played by Byrne, and it just becomes a whole bunch of slapstick and just kind of your run-of-the-mill kids movie, but with James Corden. So the Peter Rabbit stories have been around for over 100 years, and they've been translated all kinds of ways into various books, television shows, and now a feature film. So of course, this being a kids movie based on another property in 2018, there's gonna be some contemporary updates and some new things that probably people that are big fans of the source material are not gonna like too much, just because it kind of strays away from the book. Now, don't get me wrong, I haven't read any Peter Rabbit books in my entire life, so I can't really tell, but quite frankly, this is just another kids movie, and it's got kind of just everything you'd expect from one. But let's talk about the cast, because that's definitely the highlight of this movie. So, James Corden, I've never really liked the guy, I'll be honest with you. I don't think he's very funny, I'm not a big fan of his talk show, and he was in the Emoji Movie as a talking high five, for fuck's sake. But I think he lent a good voice performance to the Peter Rabbit character, and just kind of brought the character to life, so you're gonna pass this time, James Corden. And Daisy Ridley plays the rabbit Cottontail, who's basically got kind of a screw loose in her head. She does all these crazy stunts, and, she falls off the roof, and she's like, "Oh, it's okay, I got 11 more ribs," and goes back up. It was just kind of fun to see Daisy Ridley voice this crazy rabbit character, because it's just so different from her portrayal of Rey in the Star Wars movies, so it was just kind of nice to see her around this time. It's kind of a shame her character doesn't get a whole lot of lines or a ton of screen time, so if they make a second one of these movies, I hope we have more Cottontail. And Domhall Gleason finally got a performance where he can overact, and it fits perfectly. He kind of plays this uptight, stingy store manager guy who doesn't like the rabbits, and he falls in love with Rose Byrne's character, and he just kind of gets to overact and be silly and just be a bit cartoony, which he does very well in this movie. But one of the definite highlights of the cast is the fact that Margot Robbie is the narrator in this movie. That's just awesome. Alright, that's just awesome. So, like I said earlier, there are a lot of modern kids movie tropes in this movie, like a lot of slapstick and contemporary humor, but some of them kind of work, and some of the jokes in this movie actually land. And there are also a lot of running gags in this movie which kind of get old really fast. But there's one running gag in this movie that I thought was funny every single time. Every time the sun comes up, this rooster starts freaking out and be like, "Oh my god, the sun came up again! I thought that was it from last night. Ah, man, if I knew the sun was gonna come up again, I wouldn't have had so many eggs. Now I gotta be part of their life, and blah, blah, blah." I thought it was funny. But one of the things about this movie that's getting a bit of controversy right now is that the movie kind of promotes allergy bullying, which I didn't even know was a thing. So basically there's a scene where Domhall Gleason is offered some blackberry juice, and he's like, "No, I can't, I'm allergic." And Peter Rabbit is watching from the skylight, and he's like, "Oh, come on, don't use that as a crutch." And then him and the other rabbit characters get into this weird contemporary argument about allergies and real medical problems versus fake ones. I mean, it's so out of nowhere, and it doesn't really amount to anything, and it just seems a bit unnecessary. And just because Peter Rabbit decides to defend it in the end, be like, "I don't want to get hate letters," that doesn't make it okay. Just why even have it there to begin with? So, coming into this movie, I wanted to be able to walk out of the theater saying it was a cute movie. Now, that's a term I hate when people use, because it's just an excuse that parents use because the movie was crap but their kids liked it, which always just leads to sequels, and then when the sequels fail, they get a reboot and 2 years later. But this time around, yeah, it's cute. It's a cute movie. It's like, so of course I'm not the target audience for this movie. The audience for this movie is children, and the kids in my theater, they really enjoyed it. Now that doesn't mean I can't dislike the movie, but that basically means this movie's gonna do its job, just something that parents can take their kids to and they'll be entertained. And this may be a by-the-numbers kids movie. You got the lovable characters, you got the mischievous lead character whose actions catch up with him at the end, you got characters that are angry at each other and they try to make up at the end. It's got everything there, but you know what? Like I said before, it's a cute movie and it's gonna do its job of making kids happy. So all in all, Peter Rabbit does nothing really new, but it was an enjoyable hour and a half. I can't necessarily say I'm clamoring for a sequel, but I'm open to it. So, those are my thoughts on Peter Rabbit. If you have kids, go take them to see this movie. I'm sure they'll love it. But anyway, if you have seen the movie, notes down below, and we'll see you on the Brockopp side.